All right, I'm shooting this now that I am back from my day of testing. I just wanted to first off, say thanks to Jared for making these things. It's nice to be able to buy brand new parts that are actual upgrades in 2023 and make these guns better. Even if they did nothing, I would still be buying them just because I think, so many bolts are swollen and, scratched up. I think it's just such a nice upgrade to have, and the fact that they're better is really good. So I want to treat this video as kind of a general repository for all things Salty engineering. I've got a bolt test and then a test of his new low pressure Poppet coming up here in this video. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Again, most of these things are available on his website, and I hope you enjoy. All right, hello. Happy almost New Year here. I'm here at Gateway, and I've brought a whole bunch of bolts. So we're going to go ahead and run through these, kind of track some figures and see what we're going to do here. So got a nice little test rig here. We're going to run through all the different Salty configurations, and then some of the stock ones. We're going to chart some numbers and just kind of see what the production version Salty bolt is all about here. So yeah, all right, so let's get into this bolt test here. We've got all the Salty configurations, and then I have a thumb drive without the thumb part. So I just put a regular pin in a thumb drive. As you can see, this is the pillow tip thumb drive. I'll get on all that. This one is dialed 270, 289, 287, 271. So let's do a string with the thumb drive. So we are at average 263 plus or minus 8, 263 plus or minus 8, 265 plus or minus 5, so right around 265 with the stock pillow bolts here. So as far as shot signature, again, if you've shot a G6r, you know what this sounds like. Let's do one more, we'll average the averages. Says at 267 plus or minus 7. So as you can see, we are probably 265 average plus or minus 6 or 7. So pretty consistent given this field grade GI. And then in terms of temperature, I am doing a pretty significant overbore. Normally I'd be shooting at around a 282. I'm boring out at a 289 right now. So it's about 35 degrees outside, so it's very cold as well. So let's start the test then with the Salty. So here I have just the production model, like not even the founders. So we're going to do our Salty bolt. I'm going to take off our die tip. As you can see, the die tip is the V2. It does have the fingers. And we are going to put on our field 1 tip. So let's see what a thumb drive, and here's kind of a big difference. I'm not sure if you can tell, but if you look down in there, you can see it's like Venturi porting, right? So just a bunch of holes around the pillow. On the Salty, way more airflow, much more open. So I anticipate this should be a little better than stock. So let's take a look. Screw that on. And it's really that easy to change it out. As far as bolt oil, I always use this dye diamond coat. Dye kind of made me mad with the DLS, but it's like the ULI rocks, and say what you will. This diamond coat is fantastic. Fantastic bolt oil. It's super, super slick, and it stays on forever. So let's do this. We're going to swap out our thumb drive, and we're putting in the F1 tip on the Salty bolt. So let's top this off. Okay. Now let's do our chrono. So remember, we were at 265 on the thumb drive. Average 282 plus or minus 5. So already about a 20 FPS increase. Okay. 280 plus or minus 11. So right again in the 280s again. 280 plus or minus 6. So every time, 3 in a row, it's been an average of 280. Very consistent bolt on just even the F1 tip. Let's go ahead and we can rip the rest of this. Again, it's 30 fucking degrees outside. Thing shoots great. So sound signature, I would say, is effectively the same. The biggest thing I like about the Salty bolts is that this retention pin is completely flush with the bolt, so it doesn't sit proud like the like the Field 1 ones. So again, just going from thumb drive, and again, this is a thumb drive, so it's not like I took the O-rings off or anything. You know what I mean? It's just straight up the thumb drive. About 18 FPS pretty consistently over. So let me fill this thing back up. And then let's hit that die tip. So again, this is all it takes. I'm just gonna unscrew this. I love this die tip. Can you tell that I was shooting the Salty bolt in this already? Which is why, the thumb drive was at 260 instead of 280. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I never fucking look back. So here's the die tip. Let's keep that grease going. And, all right. So let's do a stream. .284 plus or minus 8. .280 plus or minus 3. .286 plus or minus 8. So again, we're another 10 hotter than the F1. We're averaging 290s here almost. 289 plus or minus 6. 286 plus or minus 7. So it's like, I mean, the Field 1 tip was averaging 280 3 times in a row. This one is above 285 3 times in a row. So even F1 to die tip, another big improvement. So again, gotta get to the old Saltmeister here. Plus that die tip, it's not going to translate on video, but it just sounds so much different in person. And then I guess if you don't believe me, here is a true thumb drive. Yuck. Let's take a look. Average 265 plus or minus 8. Like, I don't even need to waste any more paint with this. Like, literally, Saltmeister across the board, minimum 20 if you want the F1 tip. I'm looking probably closer to 25, 30 with the die tip. Numbers just speak for themselves. I don't have much to say on this, to be honest. I think both tips are really nice. I personally rock the die tip. I'll take the extra velocity. Kudos, Jared. Great product here. Plus, that O-ring on the back, there's just no torque, no slop. It just Just, what a machine. All right, thank you, Jared. All right, so just got these in from Jared. It's kind of the next salty product in the mix. He's conquered the Bolt, and now we are moving on to the low pressure Poppet. So as you can see, as it exists currently for the G6R, there are 3 Poppets you can currently have. So there is the standard or high pressure Poppet. The high pressure Poppet is made out of brass. It has little wrench flats on the back. It uses this kind of nylon, threaded Poppet head on a stem. Brass, high pressure Poppet, your highest efficiency Poppet here. They then introduced the low pressure Poppet, which as you can see is made out of stainless, but the design is the same. The biggest thing is that you'll notice it is a tiny bit longer. All things being equal, you'll see is a tiny bit longer. What that does is that it increases your mechanical dwell. So for every hit, the ram is going to be in contact with the Poppet longer. That extra little bit, it's going to keep your valve open a little bit longer. More air is going to come out. Because you have a higher volume of air, you can drop your pressure because the mechanical dwell is longer. So you sacrifice some efficiency because you have more air coming out, but that air coming out is at a lower pressure because there is more of it. So, those are the 2 Poppets. Now, these have some shortcomings, one of which being these heads are threaded on. So, they can come loose. Like this is just, finger tight, right? You can strip these threads out. The Poppet heads are a consumable. And as we know, they no longer make the G6R. There's a finite supply of Poppet heads. They're soft plastic. Like it's a fine system, right? We've managed for this long. But what Jared's Poppet seeks to accomplish is to remove the Poppet head as an institution and instead seal with an O-ring. So you can see the sealing surface, as opposed to this piece of hard, plastic, is now just a standard, O-ring in there. It's kind of held between these 2 grooves. It has the same length as the low pressure Poppet. As you can see, sealing surface to sealing surface here. Maybe like this, so, the same length. The weight is about the same. This is hollow. And, I have nothing to say about it other than, one, it exists. So that's the biggest benefit. I've seen people paying $80 for a low pressure Poppet. So these are available. You can buy them. It is a drop-in replacement for a high pressure Poppet. It is, and if you have a low pressure Poppet, do you need to buy one? Maybe. Just because eventually you'll need to change a Poppet head. And then, the cost of this will have paid for itself. This, you just swap out an O-ring. I can't report on the longevity. I'm going to go shoot, a case or something and just see how it does. But I threw this in, no issues, no leaks when I first popped it in. So, we'll go shoot it and see how it looks. But in theory, all we have is just a more available low pressure Poppet that fixes the availability and the damage to this Poppet head. This will never be damaged, and if it does, you just replace an O-ring. And then 2, kind of a bonus feature, if you have, since the G6R Poppet head seals inside the actual body, there's no valve body, it's just the body of the gun. If your sealing surface is nicked or marred, you've bricked your G6R. So I think this will revive some previously bricked G6Rs here, just because this is pliable. It can squish in. It's an O-ring, right? So I think you're going to have a larger operational threshold with the salty Poppet. It's exactly as good as the low pressure. It's the same dimensions and everything. If you have a high pressure Poppet, no reason to not buy one of these. No reason to spend extra to get a true low pressure Poppet. It's the same, except I anticipate it to be better. It's one of those things where time will tell. Just because I only have, 0 shots through it. I'm gonna put a case through it and see if it works. If it does, I'll keep reporting back. I should be able to have about 6 cases through one in the next couple of weeks here. So as it stands, he sent me a couple. I've got one in this gun already. I've aired it up, no issues. So we'll see how it shoots. All right, so wanted to, after that kind of recap, so this has the Salty Engineering new low pressure poppet in here. So I just threw this in. It's sealing, no leaks, no issues. Had to double check, but yeah, no leaks, no issues. I am just going to chrono it and let's see if my pressures are the same. You know, last time I played with this, it was at 280. So 276 plus or minus 10. 272 plus or minus 6. That's fucking crazy. 279 plus or minus 10. So I would play with that. You know, again, I normally wouldn't play with such a large, you know, overbore. I'd kind of go for the consistency a bit more, to be honest. But it's like 30 degrees outside, so I don't really want to deal with any barrel breaks. But I've got like a case. I just threw this this new salty pop in there. So let's just rip it and see if, you know, we have any catastrophic failures or if it'll just shoot as long as you shoot it. So let's see. Such an uncomfortable way to hold it. Please hold. All right, let's see. 284 plus or minus 5. 286 plus or minus 7. 286 plus or minus 3. 300 plus or minus 0. Okay, cool. Let's finish off this caddy. All right, so that's the salty pop. No issues here. Let's. Ooh, that barrel is icy, baby. Oh, nasty little bit of last ball. I gotta set my ball in place delay. This is running a sci-fi, so I haven't messed with it. But all right, good to go otherwise.